Somebody said Austin John Plays came out. Austin John Plays. Hey, shout out the guy. Now I want to preface this. I think all people are dickheads until I meet him. So let's not glaze this man too much. He can really be a dickhead out in public, because I've noticed a lot of people are just dickheads once they become super famous and they become former shells of themselves. But without further ado, let's see what he got to talk about. Oops, I'm clicking everywhere. Make sure I'm recording. All right.
K-Side and all the other YouTube channels, they just dropped the first look trailer of the Switch 2. And I have not covered any leaks regarding this console because these leaks and rumors, all of them rumors because nothing was officially leaked, have been going on for years. But here, we finally start seeing what the Nintendo Switch 2 looks like. That it's going to be a lot like the Nintendo Switch, but bigger and better. The top is going to be featuring volume buttons like before. However, we're now also getting a second USB-C.
I like that. I like this. The little soft rubber at the bottom. Cause hold on, let me get my Switch. Let me get my Switch real quick. 1 sec. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. Get. Ooh, excuse me. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. Some failure points I already can see is that these will get a little wobbly over time. A kid might actually he might actually poke it out and then it's wobbly. The whole tablet is wobbly when you're playing it. I feel as if this should have been elongated a little bit, at least to right here, so that way it's more stable. I feel like this will get sticky very easily. So let's hope it's a premium material and it's not like a rubber or a foam or something. Hopefully Nintendo doesn't cheap out. I think this stand should have been solid, kind of like the old Nintendo, and they could have had it. Literally, I had no problem with this. This was perfect. This was fine to me. Maybe they could have made it right here. Let's see. Maybe they could have made it like right here where the Nintendo Switch sign is, instead of having it down here. But this was fine to me. I had no problem. You could put your cable in there, and you can. Nah. Maybe if they had the USB-C right here instead of it being down here, I would say you could put your cable in and charge it, but you actually can't. What is this even for then? Like, why is that even there? I don't know. That's weird. That's weird. I don't know. Very weird. Let's get back into the video. Oh, excuse me, guys.
At the top of the console, right next to the headphone dock and the card holder. Now, later in this video, they do talk about backwards compatibility. We're going to be talking about that in a minute. Next, we're treated to the kickstand is the entire length, and it comes all the way out, and the system can lay all very flat looking.
Okay. It looks like it could do. It looked like it's the same. It looked like it's completely the same as the old Switch. It got the same little thing right here. Right? I never played this far down though. Me personally, I never played this far down. I'm not mad at people playing this far down. Feels very weird. I was actually playing with this a couple days ago. Pause.
And then it springs back up because that's fun. Now let's talk about the Joy-Cons. They're bigger, blacker, sleeker, and sexier. Instead of them being huge amounts of color, like the original launch console was for the Nintendo Switch, now it's going to be accents of color. And they are still sticking to the blue and red, but the red is much more of a coral color. We're also seeing that on the right-hand side next to the home button, there's another button down there. What this button does, we don't know, and I swear.
I hope it streams. I hope that's a stream button. Like you can stream from your console rather than setting up an Elgato and stuff like that. Kind of like what the PlayStation 5 does.
And hope and pray it's somehow social connectivity or something else or something useful.
I like
we now
that.
see that the inside of the Joy-Con is going to still be.
I like that. I like that. This how the old Switch was. You know, design flaws. It's kind of indented. It feels like if you don't have that actual wristband accessory on it, it feels kind of unfinished. You know, like it's here but it's not here. Now, hopefully,
somehow so
that accented finish is gonna make it feel a little better.
social connectivity or something else or something useful.
Yeah, yeah. Look at that, bro. Look how many buttons there is. They look like I got what? This got a sync button, S, L, S, R, but it looks like there's also 2 more buttons, right? So that's interesting itself, and it looks like it's clickier. And it might be softer, a softer metal, or a softer plastic. My bad.
We now see that the inside of the Joy-Con is going to still be having the side left and side right buttons like we were. However, instead of it being able to slide into the bottom of a Joy-Con rail, it's going to be popping in. We're also seeing that we have LED indicators for the controller's player position. The manual sync button is still there, but now at the very top we have sort of like a little what looks like a pressure point. And then at the bottom we have what looks like a larger button, and not very visible here, but just next to the actual port connector, there's something in there that people have speculated and had ideas that it's an optical sensor, which sounds very Nintendo of them. We're also going to see now here at the bottom right, we don't have the weird IR sensor that was used in like 2 things, including Nintendo Labo. Onto the left Joy-Con, it has its blue color that looks pretty similar of a blue, and on this exact screen, it very much looks like it's an optical sensor. Now, what this optical sensor is used for, not exactly too sure, but if it's an optical sensor on the inside, it could possibly be used sort of like a PC mouse. So maybe you're going to be able to move the mouse around, which, listen, if they did that, that is genius, because all of these Steam games that are then ported to the Switch have to have...
And then I want to add this too. It looks like there's some type of trigger on here. I hope it's like the GameCube rather than these. Like, these are cool, but I want more of the GameCube-y feel. Those were the best to me, those triggers. Oh, turn the mute off.
Functionality, and it is so lacking. But you being able to take one of the Joy-Cons off and then use that as a mouse, that's a game changer. That is fantastic. Fantastic. Love it. Oh, throughout this entire video, we're given no information as far as tech specs or anything else or video capabilities, so don't expect anything like that until we hear later on. The Joy-Cons are then slamming down into what looks like a Joy-Con holder.
And that even looks better. I like that too. I like the colors. Black on coral. That's a good looking color. It's very Apple-esque. This whole trailer is Apple-esque. I hope it has Hall effect joy sensors or joysticks, and then I hope that these are a little bigger. These are small. These are for little kid hands. I need a grown man one, you know?
That then connects to the Joy-Con. So all the important bits and bobs have pass-through on there. You still have that plus and plus and minus and minus. I guess that's going to be the top connector that locks it into place. There might be one at the bottom. Still not 100% sure how these things hook up. And yes, there are rumors, there are ideas going around. I'm just saying it's not exactly too certain what that button is going to be doing. We make our way to the bottom of it, and it's just a strap that braids through.
This strap could have been reinforced and made it a little bit better. I haven't had any I haven't had any problems with the strap, but I feel like it could have been improved upon. Made a little bit more of a premium feel if it's extra $100.
Pretty
overall, I should have just this should be a feeling strap. I hope.
Simple. And it's especially this scene that you see the Joy-Cons just sort of like running on a flat surface really hits home in my head that they are optical sensors and it can be used like a mouse. And they're going to be attaching by just plugging into the side.
And then on the insides, this is going to be blue, this one's going to be red, so you can't forget and mistake where it is. Now it's going to be weird because, you know, you got different colored Joy-Cons and stuff like that, but it's going to be, let's say you want to change the Joy-Cons, you get a purple one and it's going to be blue right here, but it's fine, bro.
And now this is the only point that they're going to be connecting, and thusly the only possible
I just don't like. I don't like that this bezel is still here, like this big old bezel.
point of failure. How it's going to work, how hackable it's going to be instead of sticking a paper clip in the bottom, if those little connectors are going to be secure or anything else like that is all yet to be seen. But it's sleek. Oh, and it's called the Nintendo Switch 2, which, listen, calling it the Nintendo Switch 2 is genius. I don't know if you know that, because last time they had a wildly successful console, the Wii, they followed up with the Wii U, and by putting a letter after it, people thought it was an add-on, especially the fact that the main controller was a very large tablet,
Right.
and the base of it.
I did think it was an add-on too myself, and I was heavily into games. And for some odd reason, I don't get what the fascination was at the time with Nintendo and cameras.
Looked very similar to the Wii.
But I'm so glad that the Nintendo Switch 2 does not have a camera.
So people thought it was an add-on, not its own separate console. The Wii U was in every single way a commercial failure. The Switch being as wildly popular as it is, rivaling the popularity of the Wii, they did not want to make that same mistake again. And calling it the Switch 2 very clearly.
All right, bro, we get you.
This is the with the. And then we're treated to a teaser of a new Mario Kart game, which this game doesn't exist. And the first thing I'm going to notice is how many slots are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Are they going full Mario Party Jamboree? Yes, it is 24.
Damn.
24 racers on a single
24
board.
racers?
That sounds fun. Which also means that the system has to be powerful enough to have 24 people on. Everyone has a brand new design of kart, and Mario's has like 3 little sticks coming out of the front, kind of looking like the actual Joy-Con plugins. The Switch 2 is then going in the dock, which is curved and nice looking, and we can see some of the screen while it's in there. So that's probably not helpful. I mean, in a very specific thing, just to know that it is actually fully plugged in. We see a Joy-Con grip, and as we, or I don't know if they're called Joy-Cons, but whatever the Switch 2's Joy-Cons are, Joy-Con grip, that has the same mirror to pass through the lights on which of the Joy-Cons is going to be which controller. Also, if you look at the screen, Donkey Kong has a new redesign based off of the Super Mario Brothers movie. And that is the new Donkey Kong with the big eyebrows over the eyes. Not exactly too sure how I feel about that yet. Coming this year, as they promised for years previously. And then we get our first screen with words on there other than 2. Nintendo Switch 2 plays exclusive games as well as Switch games. Switch 2 plays both physical and digital Switch 1 games. Great. Certain Nintendo Switch.
Now, this could be a great thing, right? I feel like the Nintendo Switch could be like the PlayStation 4, and the Nintendo Switch 2 could be the PlayStation 5. What do I mean by that? So even though the PlayStation 5 was still selling like hotcakes and still going crazy, the PlayStation 4 had a good run as well during the run of the PlayStation 5. So if companies keep pushing stuff out to the Nintendo Switch the same time as the Nintendo Switch 2, it'll still be selling like hotcakes. That's all I had to say.
Which games may not be fully supported or compatible. This is very broad language, and don't worry, your favorite game is most likely fully compatible. This is, just pure examples. Labo. You can't play Labo on the Switch Lite or the OLED Switch or the Switch 2. It only was made to fit the first one. There are also games that require the Switch to be either in docked or tabletop mode or handheld mode. Those games may not be compatible as well. Probably 1-2 Switch if you thought that tech demo was a game. Fun fact, I have such a deep-seated hatred for 1-2 Switch that in the studio bathroom, that is where 1-2 Switch has remained forever.
Damn.
And it's so bleached from being exposed to the sun, and this is what it deserves, okay? If your 1-2 Switch is not bleached from the sun by sitting in front of the sun for the last 7 years, you gave 1-2 Switch way too much credit.
Damn.
We also get a side-by-side size comparison, so she's a chunky gal.
I just noticed something on this screen here. They're comparing the original Switch to the new Switch 2. They're not using the OLED Switch because the OLED Switch is bigger, right? The cartridge is the same size. That leads me to believe that this is a 2-scale image. So we can figure out the screen size. Using real rough and dirty pixel math, I'm pretty sure the new Switch 2 is going to be between a 7.9 and an 8-inch screen. 7.93, let's just say about 8 inches. So it's going to be another horizontal inch compared to the OLED, which is a 7-inch screen.
April 2nd, 2025. If you watched the UK one, it was 0204, which I saw that and I was like, oh crap in a hat, it's in February. Nope. I watched the American one and it's April 2nd. 4 days before my birthday, which is neat. There's also a series of hands-on events held around the world. This is very similar to what they did for the first Nintendo Switch console, which
I kind of want to go to this, man. Whatever. All right, man. Y'all get it, man. Shouts out the boy Austin John, you know, not too much though. But yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 coming out. Hopefully it sells like hotcakes. Hopefully it's 4K gaming and no lag and all that. It has a SSD in it. Everything loads fast and you don't got to worry about nothing. You don't got to worry about the Joy-Cons drifting. You don't got to worry about no bad connections. Because even on this Switch OLED, I don't play it a lot, but I still can't connect these both at the same time. Both of these Joy-Cons at the same time. Hopefully, they get rid of this bezel on the tablet screen. This bezel doesn't need to be here, by the way. It doesn't. You can get rid of it. For some reason, they don't. And hopefully, it's OLED. I don't want no more LCD screens, man. If it's an LCD screen on there, it's like you're moving backwards. I'm just gonna play on my Switch OLED until the OLED comes out. OLED version of the Switch 2 comes out. That being said, that's the end of the video. Another one in the books. Peace.